Welcome back, guys. So I'm in my backyard and just walking around, and I have noticed that this kind of volunteer persimmon, I guess it's an American persimmon rootstock, it's kind of just randomly growing here in the ground in my backyard, and I wanted to go ahead and just graft it over with a Fuyu. I've got a Fuyu over there on the other side of the yard, but this one here, I had a pot with a Fuyu, grafted Fuyu sitting near this area, and I guess the roots kind of grew into the ground and got away. So, well, here you go. I got like kind of like rootstock runners. So we're gonna go ahead and graft this to an actual good tasting persimmon. So let's go ahead and start. I've got my scion here, which I harvested a few weeks ago off of my other tree, and we're gonna go ahead and graft this and put it on here. Just trying to search where the diameters meet up real good or match up, and we'll go ahead and get this going. One sec. So basically same deal as when I grafted the jabbo. I'm just gonna do a cleft graft on this here. So I'm gonna go ahead and we'll line this up. I think I'll just graft it right here, possibly. And so let's prepare the rootstock. Let's just get rid of this. Get rid of this. You can also check the diameters, you know, like that. And sometimes when you're grafting these, they don't have to necessarily line up perfectly, because you can adjust your cut on the scion, like over to the side a little bit, to compensate for the size differences. Like if this one is too small and the rootstock is pretty big. So we'll just go ahead and graft it down here. And then this looks like it matches up pretty well, actually. They match up real nicely. Some people use a caliper to match up their scions, and maybe I should do that, but because you get really accurate size matching. So let's go ahead and just wrap this up here like this. And it really is worth the investment in getting real grafting tape and real parafilm grafting tape, because if you get, I don't know, if you get some of these like just grafting tape alternatives, your results will probably not do as well. Actually, let me take these gloves off. Alright, so I had to get my little fillet glove, so when I do the incision on this, that it's not going to cut my hand. So we'll just go ahead and cut it down right here. That sure was easy. And I'm just gonna go ahead and get this all set up. Just preparing the scion. Some people are pretty quick at doing this. I kind of take my time as far as cutting the wedge here on the scion. This tip, it doesn't look so great, so I'm just going to cut that off. And I think we're ready. We'll just set it in here. Set it in here like this. Actually, on the back side of this, it looks way better. Right here. Let's line it up real nicely on this side. So it doesn't matter. This side doesn't really match up so well. So I'm just going to focus on matching it up. Matching up the scion on the other side. Doesn't look too great on that side, so just gonna patch it up on this other side right here. And just gotta wrap it up now. You kind of want to try to do this quickly as you can. There was a little bud here, I just popped it off right here. Oops, right here, so that doesn't start growing before the scion does, hopefully. So I'm wrapping it up. Just taking a peek on the back side again, make sure it's lining up correctly. It looks good. Sometimes I'll double wrap, especially where the healing is going to be. You want it nice and sealed so there's no moisture escaping and nothing getting in, like contaminants. So that's basically it. I'm going to get a rubber band here, snug it up with a rubber band. I find that when you use a rubber band, it increases your likelihood of takes because it keeps the cambium layers on the rootstock and the scion really close together. So here's how I wrap my rubber bands. Let me see if I can show you. Like, I'll hold one end with my thumb here like this, pull it around, switch over for a second, and then wrap it right over it like this. And then I'll go again over it, and then I'll start wrapping the scion like this. And I'm only pulling about, I guess, less than half its elasticity. Like, I'm not making it super tight for most grafts. Some of them I'll pull them real tight, like for jabos and other things, but this one will be moderately tight because alright, so I'm going to the last part of when I get about an inch or so left, or 2 inches, then I'll put my finger underneath it, pull the end around, and then loop it under like this. Just kind of loop it under. I can show you. And then I'll pull it through like that. That usually sticks just fine. And if it's a graft I'm doing outside, then I'll take some more parafilm and then I'll wrap it up again just to hold or keep the rubber band from breaking down too soon. So that's pretty much it for this persimmon graft right here. And you know, at this point you just kind of cross your fingers, hope you get a take. You just kind of watch it, you know, watch the rootstock. Want to make sure that there's no growth coming from the rootstock that's going to take away from pushing growth on your scion. Alright guys, so that's this graft. Let me show you what, I'm just going to walk over and show you what I did last spring on another volunteer rootstock just like this over here. So this is just another random persimmon rootstock that was just popping up. You see how it's kind of like in a not so great place, so maybe at some point I'll try to dig it up. But here's what I did last year. Same type of graft. This is a cleft graft right here that I did, and then this is the cleft graft. I did a double graft. So here's the grafting tape from last year. You can see the wound looks real nice and it's healed in real well. These are also persimmon. I mean, excuse me, also Fuyu, and then it grew out real nicely here, and it actually even looks like it's gonna fruit. You see the buds here. There's a good number of buds all over it. So instead of having just a random rootstock sitting here, just taking up space for me spading it out, we're just gonna turn this little couple square feet into food producing area. So that was this is the after of the before that we just did. So I think I have another. It's gonna be weird, but there's another random. This is a weed right here. Another persimmon rootstock. So this is just a failed. Yeah, this is one I attempted last year and it failed. So I might put 3 more other grafts on here and see if I can get it to get something to take. Okay, guys, take care.
Guess who's back?